losing to G2. Cloud9 sending Koi home. LAT not performing as you would expect. Riyadh Falcons getting top 16. And OpTic versus an Orgless roster that goes all the way to a map 7 with Shotzi pulling an absurd ninja play.
Oh my god, he just ninja'd him.
If this is our first look at Black Ops 7 under pressure, what does this actually tell us about the teams and where the meta is going? I'm in this video, I am going to give you a recap on day 1 and day 2 of the Monster Invitational weekend. The biggest upsets, the key moments, and some breakdowns and highlights of the moments that defined the entire weekend. I'm going to talk about whose stock has gone up and whose stock has gone down after our first serious Black Ops 7 rep. Here's everything you need to know about day 1 in 60 seconds. OpTic versus FaZe. Potential grand final matchups happening during winners round 2. OpTic take them down 3-0. It was clean, it was comfortable. Shotzi is trick shotting on the map. Riyadh Falcons, surprising. You will expect them to be around top 6 throughout the year. Talented players on that team with the Bulldog, Cell, AG, and Xnid. They lose to Team War. Amateurs in challenges, one of the biggest amateur upsets of the day.
All down to Diamond John, 1 versus 2. Game clock is your best friend. He's able to find the first, and the beams are good enough. Adios, Falcons!
And then LAT, starting off pretty slow, super shocking, losing to both LAG in a grudge match, and then getting defeated by G2 in the losers bracket. What's going on with LAT? Don't worry about it. I want to show you the moments that defined the day 1 of the Monster Invitational. So the first moment for me was the Shotzi TKO TikToksy on map 3. The way he's moving, he's dancing, he's spinning, he's playing against a very strong Atlanta FaZe team. And the fact that he's treating this like it's a ranked game, it just wasn't just a good map from OpTic. It was a statement for the strength that they had. The second moment of day 1 for me was LAT versus G2. This is a LAT team that was built to win, that is built to win with some of the best players in the game, versus a G2 team who most people who have written them out early on into the season. It's also a team with my ex-teammates fighting against each other, so I've got love for both teams. Just even showing Skies and his performance against LAT, showing the potential that he has for this season. So this will be my live reaction to them.
You got to finish it, Bueno.
Oh! Caesar! So let's talk about which teams have elevated their stock coming into the Monster tournament and which teams might have hurt their stock a little bit at the end of this Monster Day 1 Invitational. First team whose stock I think has risen is Cloud9. Very solid showing during day 1. They look like they've adjusted to Black Ops 7 faster than even I expected. Wonderful team, good teamwork. Even though they haven't screamed as much as they have due to visa issues, they looked solid. Huge shout out to both the amateur teams, Team War and Team Fellow. You upset Falcons, you upset Vancouver Surge, you upset pro teams, playing with the confidence that they had against the pro teams, showing you exactly how amateurs should treat these events early on. So of course I'm not taking too much into that, but their stock has risen for me. And finally, they have performed exceptionally well during day number 1. They look good and they look confident. So which team's stock after day 1 has been hurt a little? I've got 2 teams here. Team 1, Boston. The first showing for me didn't really instill that much confidence. I know as the season progresses they'll be fine. You have exceptional talent in Snoopy, you bring in talent like Byron Nasty. They have the potential, they're not where they should be yet, early days, it's fine. And it comes to no shock, and it hurts me to say LAT. I have faith and I have the confidence that they'll figure it out. They've got 3-4 of the best players of all time. You've got MVPs in Hydra, you've got MVPs in Scrap, you've got MVP potential in the BZ. They'll figure it out. Some of the best staff in the league. no doubt in my mind, just they started slow with the expectation and the pressure they have. Not worried whatsoever. It's still not what you want to see, but give them time. It's all good. Let's start with day 2 in 60 seconds so you know exactly what happened before we zoom in. FaZe loses to G2. Not a scrim, not a fluke map. G2 actually take down FaZe, with Kremp having a huge impact into the later part of the series. Cloud9 take down Koi. Cloud9 looked way more prepared in Black Ops 7 than most people expected. Funnily enough, they haven't actually practiced as much as they like, but they look good. And OpTic versus August going to a map 7 in the grand finals. OpTic defeated August 3-0 in the winners final. The rematch then ended up going into a map 7. Full stretch series, big moments from both teams, and August pushing one of the biggest brands in Call of Duty all the way to the wire. That is surface level. Now let's talk about how OpTic and the August squad actually matched up in that final. And this is why I think this is the match of the tournament. So this is map 1, Den Hardpoint. I want to highlight one of the key moments of this map 1. OpTic are currently up by 40 points. This was the potential for August to bring this back if they could get P1 and chain it into a P2 rotation. These next few moments right here is what really set OpTic apart in this hardpoint. They ended up getting P1 and soaking a big time of P2. So let's break it down. As you can see, they have P1 control. They should know they're spawning behind number 3 here, where number 2 and number 1 is. Dashi reads it, turns on Neptune in this moment here. Now they're just playing to soak this 20 seconds. You'll see OpTic try and play for a next wave of kills, because once they then play for scam kills, they can run forward and flip. Huge plays by both Dashi and Shotty to play with discipline before activating, because they understood exactly where August was spawning. They understood the timings that they had, and they realized they couldn't get any more map control. So they focused on playing that next set of kills, that next wave, in order to then successfully do so and push through to spawn them out here. This then allows OpTic to try and give them a better chance of chaining P2, because now they've got 2 kills. They're basically in a 4v2. He's out of the play. Essentially 3 versus 2. Right here, they don't know it, but they're in a 2v1. But what they'll start doing is start progressing towards P2 to get that information early. And where 1 is spawning is telling you where August are going to be. They know August is spawning on that side of the map purely because of where number 1 is. So let's see how they chain this rotation here. They get Dashi gets information of where Envoy is. So now they're missing 2. And they know 1 is off spawn. So you'll see them 2v1 here, play to trade. Trading meaning going 1 for 1 to have that numerical advantage. They're in a 2v1, they play the 1 for 1. They play to trade here. Dashi kills Envoy. Huge kill by Dashi right here. And now you're in a position where now they've got the P2 rotation and they know where you've spawned, and they're going to predict what routes you're going to take. So you know, if you're August in this position and you know where August is spawning, you know that they have either 2 options. They either stack through old or they play for new. They are ready in either situation. He'll have info if they play for old. They'll have info if they play for new. Let's see how they get this P2 rotation. Huge plays right now. Good trade going 1 for 1. So this is what we mean by efficient COD. They're in a position now where Shotzi dies to Sib, but Dashi then trades Sib instantly. They maintain the map control. They trust what they call their flow right here, the conveyor belt system. And he's going to refill where needed, and he's going to pick up his spot. So that way we keep it efficient and we play for information early. Hugh is in a fantastic position because now he knows where you're spawning. He's going to see what you're doing based on the map control he has. If he knows you guys are coming through mid, they'll start shifting across to read that pressure and play for that pressure. You see it right here? The number 4 shifts across because now they're reading, okay, they're coming through mid. And then Dashi is going to play for front, just in case they are going to hit front at the same time. Right here, they play. They'll spawn at the back still. Not the end of the world. Huge kill by Hugh right here. Big kill from Hugh. Big kill from Hugh again. And as you see, they keep playing to trade out. And now they secure that wave in P2. Now they just refill through time. Because now they know exactly where you're spawning. During this wave, if I know exactly where you're spawning, I know the timings you have. I know where you could potentially come from. There's 30 seconds left. They are down, so they need to bang this time. They are down by a lot of points, by 70 points. So they need to hit this from front, and they're going to basically predict them to hit the front, and now they're stacking towards that. So very good, efficient Call of Duty from OpTic right here. In order to understand what could you do, we know what you potentially could do. Therefore, we are going to position ourselves to force fights as a team together to trade. From a micro perspective, look at the position that Dashi's in. He forces them to overextend. They'll peek out based on him pushing the outer, and you'll start seeing teams develop that sort of system. Good plays by Dashi getting two. Now they know where Envoy is. They're looking for one after counting names. And because of that P1, P2 transition, they basically get 60 seconds off this P2. This P2 is essentially a money hill. And now they are substantially ahead, giving them a huge opportunity to then chain P3 and close this game out. Another huge moment in this series, this could have potentially gone 2-0 OpTic if they had won this round 11. They ended up getting the first blood on S&D, but August do a good job of exposing scams and being very, they don't hesitate with the decisions that they want to make with the information they have. So right here, Hugh does a good job of getting the first blood on net, and now they're in a 4v3. And now they're going to play stalemate, play information, just make sure they're not scamming, trying to get that information early if August do try and do something on the map. And you'll see right here. So right, if they theoretically go 1-for-1 with the information they have and they commit to a play, they could win this round. So you'll see right here, currently in the 4v3. So Hugh can see if anyone crosses below here. Just playing for map control, very stalemate situation. So you see right here, they were thinking about trying to bully someone out with the information they had. They decided against it instead of giving the pick. Now you have Sib here. Sib takes down Hugh with the sniper mid. You could argue maybe Hugh doesn't chow there, plays it a little bit more safer, knowing that Sib is still alive. He tried to play information and hard committed to the chow. Maybe he thought Shotty was there with him. So now it goes from a 4v3 to a 3v3, and now it's doable for August to win this S&D. And it all stems from this one play here. But the advantage is still with OpTic because LAG still need to plant the bomb. And then Dashi gets sniped by Sib. Sib is looking incredible with the sniper right now. And now they make it into a 2v3. And they end up trading, getting the bomb down, and end up winning this round. Right here, 3v2. When you have numbers, you just got to make sure you're trading. Huge pick by Mercules to get one. But then Envoy, this is the biggest 1v1 you could have had. Ends up winning that. August tie up the series at 1-1. I want to show you another series-defining moment. August are currently down 2-1. This is a map for Colossus hardpoint. And they're down. They've been down the entire map on this hardpoint. But the same thing that they did against G2. They have an excellent P1 into a P2 transition. And that ends up bringing the game back for them. So let's have a look how they play it right here. They end up breaking this time together with nades. And they start stacking and start trading. They all win their individual 1v1s. Neptune is bumping out to get information early. But they're always in positions to trade. So Dan Ghosty should trade this. Yep. So now they know exactly where you're spawning with 4 seconds left. And now they're going to shift to pick up the hardest lane. You'll see someone try and pick up these routes. And then one person will probably end up watching front here. So as they get the information, you'll start seeing them shift across. Start playing the wave. Here we go. Now they're reading where the pressure's coming from. And then they're shifting based on that. And whenever they spawn up, they'll pick up whatever lanes are currently open. And they're doing a really good job of holding spots where they can help each other. They're not trying to overextend, take individual fights. August are doing a fantastic job of learning when to chow and when not to chow here. So they're doing a good job here. And then Neptune is going to chow over his teammate. Ghosty will chow at the same time, I think. Unless they're calling in a streak right here. Then you have Dylan, the first guy in the flow, taking a pinch route in order to activate because he has a free life. They get a clean wave, have a free life. He can do whatever he wants because if he dies, he's going to spawn on top of time and refill time when necessary. So good job here. They're helping each other. Very good. And now they're just playing to trade, reading where the pressure is and fighting together. So they go spawns towards time and you refill through time when needed. And they're just winning their individual ones, soaking, reading the pressure, understanding where specifically OpTic are going to be coming from, and they're applying pressure to trade. They're not being static, they're moving. But they're doing it together. So he's not scamming. He's very important. So Ghosty is very important in this situation to stay alive, because he can then allow them to overextend onto point and bring his teammates into the play. If he ends up dying, well, they have no reason to even turn around. And so he can take jump Charles, whatever he needs to do in the moment. And this is how August then end up taking the lead after being down the entire map. So this is a very, very good job from the team here. So your second moment of the tournament for day 2 was Shotzi on the map 2 on the S&D den. Kills one mid-map, uses the mechanics, uses the advanced movement, wall jumps on top of a pillar, throws a smoke down on his feet, kills the second guy who has no idea where he is. You are seeing Shotzi just being in one with the movement, with the mechanics, and just being a hard kill. Moment number 3 to add onto that is going to be Shotzi map 4 during the grand finals against August. He's on a P4 rotation. Hill's just popped. He gets a kill. He's jumping. He's diving. He's trying to buy time. And he gets one kill, jumps over the doorway, gets behind someone, plays to get him as a body shield. We call, what do you call it? Ninja in Halo. And the fact that he's using his advanced movement to do so, you are going to see a lot more crazy plays from players like that as the season progresses. Fantastic, flashy stuff from the guy. Let's talk about what teams' stocks were raised on day 2 and what teams' stocks fell during day 2. Obviously, I've got to give it to G2. I've got to give it to my boy Caesar Skies Bueno. You beat FaZe. You look good. You know, you play good against August, taking it to a map 5. TKO ability. Caesar Skies looking insane with a sniper rifle. When most people thought this G2 team were a bottom tier team, they are showing you they've got signs of life early on into the season. So proud of G2 for that. The second team I'm going to give it to, obvious, both teams in the grand finals, August and OpTic. August looking good. What can I say? They look good. And OpTic looked dominant for the most part. And yeah, they take the finals in the Monsters Invitational. Now for the teams whose stock fell after day 2, and unfortunately I've got to give it to Vegas FaZe early. You know, you lose to a G2 team who are not really high on most people's teams predictions. It doesn't mean the sky's falling whatsoever. It's early days, as you guys know, but we have high expectations from this FaZe team. I have super high expectations. I think it is a matter of when, not if, they end up gelling. Abuza looks really good, to be honest with you. I think 0-4 showed signs of brilliance. Sim showed MVP caliber form, but compared to their expectations, I'm going to have to give them a stock down. And also Koi, you know, losing to Cloud9. Koi are my dark horse for the season. I have no doubt that Koi will improve. They'll keep doing their thing. I think Koi will get to grand finals this year. I think they will prove and surprise a lot of people. I've got no worries about both teams as we move forward. Drop in the comments whose stocks you think went up, what team stock you think went down, and which moments were your favorite during the tournament. Mine has to be the Shotzi Ninja and the Skies 1v2 on S&D. They were some of my favorite moments. What are your favorite moments? Make sure you put that in the comment below. Let me know what type of content you guys want to see, what kind of breakdowns you want to see. I'll do an in-depth breakdown. I'm Coach Derial. Appreciate you guys watching. If you want to play in my academy, join the Discord below. See you in 8s. See you soon, guys.